Welcome to Storytime with Eamon Standing for the second part of He's Too Sexy for His Fat, the Family Guy episode. If you're wondering what this is Mr. Snowman. Here's our hot water bottle because it's friggin' freezing here and there's a storm brewing outside, and I'm pretty sure the weather's going to be a bit for the rest of the evening and maybe the weekend, unfortunately. So where did we leave the Griffin family? We left them with Lois realising that Brian is probably having the worst time, as he is the cause of the flea infestation. And indeed, Brian was suffering greatly at the hands of his poor decision of flea prevention. In the bathroom, he gnaws at his fur, a bald patch forming on one of his arms. Or is it legs? It's hard to tell with an anthropomorphic family pet. But anyway, Lois opens the bathroom door to check on her distressed canine. "Brian, are you okay?" He pauses from his gnawing, as agitated as one can imagine, being the ground zero of the infestation. "Okay? Okay. I'm covered in fleas, lady. I'm losing it here." Peter enters, using calming measures that are about as useful as CPR on a fish. "Get a hold of yourself." He slaps his wife in an insane attempt to remedy Brian's agitation. "Ow! Peter, you're supposed to hit Brian!" Chris finally drops in on the commotion. "Dad, I'm itchy! I'm itchy!" Meg's patience is also dwindling. "Out of my way, wide load! Mom, there's fleas everywhere, all over the house." Peter again interjects with a scheme that could only have been thought up by a grade school educated slob who watches far too much television. "There's only one thing to do. Learn the language of the fleas, earn their trust, then breed with their women. And in time, our differences will be forgotten." A smug look shines on his face at the genius of such a plan. His offspring continue to itch themselves, happy with any solution that can solve this crisis. However, Lois is not so fond of the idea of her husband making whoopee with a bunch of fleas. "Call the damn exterminator!" At Quahog Pest Control, a team of exterminators sit round a table, cleaning their guns and playing poker, ever vigilant for the time when their services may be required. Buzz! Alarm bells sound as their fun time is over. It's time for the exterminators to get to work. "We got a 602 on 31 Spooner Street." They grab it and load their guns, ready for the battle they, bound by duty, will do anything to win. "Logan, let's go!" A single recruit lies in the fetal position, cowering in the corner of the room. The trauma is too great for him. "I can't. I just can't!" "What's with you, Logan? You look like hell!" The rookie pulls Flaherty over and out of earshot of their trembling colleague. "Flaherty! He just watched his wife and kid get carried away by 7 million fire ants. I don't want to meet the man who looks good after that." They leave Logan, and after sliding down a pole to the garage and getting into the van, they arrive at the Griffin household, ready to lay down life and limb to save the family from the invasion of blood-sucking monsters. After checking with the mirror, weapons drawn, they enter the household as the Griffins wait outside. The rookie gives the signal. The laser sights in their guns gleam on the battlefield. Flaherty rolls into the kitchen and scans his surroundings. The corner comes to his attention. His calm breaks, and the instincts of battle kick in. "My God, they're everywhere!" He empties round after round of bullets at the infestation, screaming a wild battle cry as adrenaline fills his system. On hearing their comrades fire, the two other exterminators start to do the same. The walls become riddled with bullets, and the madness of battle takes over. The rookie pulls out a grenade in the hope that he can kill as many of his targets as possible. As the smoke clears, it is unclear if his explosive has made any difference. The Griffin house is taking a beating from the torrent of bullets that are being fired in the aid of the extermination. "They're in the carpet!" The rookie takes aim with his M1911 for a close-shot kill. "Got one over here!" They wield their batons and in a group effort attempt to subdue their remaining opponents, but their strategy, though moronically admirable, is all too in vain. "It's no good. There's too many of them!" The M1911 is out and fear sets in. There's no way they can win this battle. They are trapped. The rookie takes his last opportunity to kill and throws his empty gun at the flea. Alas, he misses, and the flea continues to advance. They're going to die? Flaherty panics as he and his comrades are backed into the corner. "What do we do now? What the hell do we do now?" There's no lying in him. The rookie says what needs to be said, and nothing more. "We pray." A shot is fired. The fleas are defeated. The hero stands by the door to the now desecrated Griffin residence. "Logan, you son of a bitch!" The rookie's gratitude is met with Logan's coolest of stares. The cowering mess we saw before is gone. You think I'd miss this party? With the fleas defeated and the Griffin house in ruins, the exterminators yellow tape off the area as the family looks at their fallen home. Guilt rushes over Brian as the reality of his folly makes itself apparent. I feel terrible about this whole thing. He brandishes his American Express card. Look, why don't I put us up in this nice hotel for a couple of days? Lois is delighted. That's a great idea, Brian. It'll be like a little vacation. Peter's past experiences at a child lemonade stand has him still worried about the safety and security of his now out-of-home family. He voices his concern at Brian's naivety on the commonplace of card payment facilities. You might want to take some cash with you, because, some places don't take cash. Despite his concerns, Brian sets them up with a nice suite at a local hotel, Barrington. As she opens the door to the temporary abode, despite the neutral standpoint of the rest of the family, Lois cannot contain her excitement, her delight at Brian's generous apology. Oh my, what a lovely room, and it's so clean. Stewie is more than sceptical on the cleanliness of the hotel room. Though young, he has experienced enough television to know what to expect for a hotel, and that even a dog can afford. Well, I think the ultraviolet scanning light will be the judge of that. He shines it around proudly. I picked this up on Dateline from that yummy exoskeleton Maria Shriver. He scans the floor around the bed and dictates his unfortunately common findings. Just as I thought. Oatmeal? Spittle? Semen? Oh, this must be where Wilfred Brimley was strangled by Bob Crane. The next day, the Griffin family enjoy a nice swim in the hotel pool. The downtrodden mood of the poorly executed flea extermination that left their house uninhabitable, seems but a distant memory of times gone by. Cannonball! Peter jumps into the pool, splashing everyone in a 5-metre radius, including his young son Stewie, who is a little more frightened of the water than one would expect from a tot with aspirations of world domination. He frowns while circumferenced by a happy inflatable turtle ring as Lois tries to encourage him to join in the family fun. Jump in, honey. Don't be afraid. The turtle will keep you safe. Ever the pessimist, Stewie retorts to his cheerful and blissfully ignorant of his plans to kill her mother. Oh, for God's sake, I'm to entrust my life to a turtle? Nature's D student? Brian walks past and pushes Stewie in. It is clear he is not paying all this money for Stewie to be a sourpuss for the duration of their stay. The turtle's buoyancy takes a few seconds to bring Stewie back up topside, and Lois helps the process along to avoid Stewie just becoming another dead baby joke, which, to be honest, I wouldn't put past the family guy writing staff. Contrary to his previous negativity, Stewie smiles and splashes. It is clear his preconceptions about the water were without grounding. By all, this is marvellous! I feel like a young Johnny Weissmuller. While Stewie is enjoying his encounter with this infinitely diluted urine, Chris sits on the diving board, looking glum and still wearing his usual blue shirt. Wondering why his teenage son isn't enjoying the same kind of splashes made possible by the husky build of a male griffin, Peter comes over to see what the matter could be. Chris, why aren't you coming in? It is clear Chris is feeling a little insecure about his body. Can I swim with my shirt on? No, you can't swim with your shirt on. Peter frowns as something clicks in his highly error-filled computer of a mind. Wait a second. What are you hiding under your shirt? Do you have bruises? He gets out of the pool. His fear for the safety of his son cultivates moods that may seem like anger, but are only those of concern. His agitated tones start to draw a crowd of other guests enjoying the Barrington swimming facilities. Did somebody hit you? Lois, what did you do to my son? She approaches and looks around. It is clear Peter is causing a scene. Will you keep your voice down? You're embarrassing him. Ever the lateral thinker, Peter goes off on one, to the dismay of his concerned wife. What are you talking about? If I wanted to embarrass him, I'd do something like this. He summons the crowds. The rest of the Griffin family gather around, seeking a reason for Peter's bizarre outburst. Hey everybody! Hey, look what Chris Griffin's father, Peter Griffin's doing! To the grimacing faces of the crowd, he grabs his moob and, after shiftily looking from side to side, proceeds to lick his own nipple. Ew! The shock value demonstration is enough for even Lois to be uncomfortable. She halts her husband's insane antics before trying to get to the bottom of her son's adversity to exposing his torso. "Stop it! Chris, why don't you want to take your shirt off?" He looks down in unrequited shame. "'Cause I'm fat." Lois's motherly instincts come in. "Oh, honey, no one thinks you're fat." Unfortunately for Chris, his stature prompts another security alert, this time from the Barrington staff. "I'm sorry, sir. You can't park your van on the diving board." Our flame-haired mother's temper rises at the insensitivity of the security guard. "This is my son!" He retracts his statement, and like the supermarket security guard, he alerts a colleague to his mistake, again undermining Chris's self-confidence. "Oh, my apologies. Hey, Tom! He's not a van. He's just a fat kid." Peter frowns, his fatherly defensiveness on high alert. "Don't listen to him, Chris. I'm going to get you a soda. You wait here." He scouts for the beverage, but not before making sure that Chris has been fitted with a steering wheel lock in case a thief might want to drive Chris somewhere. A while later, and Stewie has had enough of the pool. His small stature and lack of pool-related knowledge tears his independence away from him, and like a sim without a pool ladder, he must outsource to a higher power if he wants to be free of his aquatic activity. "I say, hello, you there. I'm ready to get out. Somebody." He scales the perimeter of the pool in search for aid when something catches his attention. "Oh my, what was that?" To his sincere delight, a water jet comes on and lots of bubbles begin to surface around him and his turtle companion. "Hello, Mr. Water Jet." He looks from side to side before bringing his body closer to the stream and relaxes as he is massaged by, enter Meg. "Stewie, are you ready? Go away!" Chris is still down in the dumps about his body, and the reassurance of his father's gene pool doesn't seem to be helping his self-damaging mood. "You're not fat, Chris. You just come from a long line of husky griffins, like your great-great-great-uncle, Jabba the Griffin." Lois's suggestion, as always, seems a lot more helpful than Peter's. "Honey, if you want to lose weight, I'll put you on a diet and your father can help you exercise." The son's mood elevates and a smile forms on his face. Could he really have the body he wants with the proper diet and exercise? Really? Of course, there are other approaches to weight loss. In unfortunately imitatable teenage girl fashion, Meg puts her media-induced suggestion forwards. Why don't you do what the supermodels do? Stick your fingers down your throat and throw up until you're skinny. Peter pushes her out of the way. His inner skeptic, to much of which has passed on to Stewie, is tweaked. "Chris, don't listen to your sister. Sticking your fingers down your throat doesn't make you throw up." He realises the broad statement of fact and considers a flaw in his logic. He has absolutely no experience in this field, and while this would not usually deter him, he can't help but feel an experiment would be the most responsible thing to do in this situation. Slowly but confidently, he brings his finger to his mouth, and sure enough, he vomits at the activation of his gag reflex, closing his mouth just in time to not make a mess. "Peter, are you okay?" With cheeks full of vomit, he nods slowly. The experiment was a success, but it is unclear what will happen to this half-digested stomach soup. And I will leave it there for today. I hope you're enjoying my reading of He's Too Sexy for His Fat, and I also hope that you join me for the next episode. Ciao for now. Have a good weekend.